Hi folks, welcome back and thank you so much for joining. So today we're going to get into some silicone and we're going to answer a lot of questions about silicone, and if you're just getting started we're going to go over how to make things with silicone, and if you're curious about how to modify silicone, we're going to get into ways to thin it, add color, mold release options, and how to adjust the cure times. That's a biggie. All right, so we're going to get started with a little thing that I've put together here, and we're going to go through making something, and I'm going to use a two-part mold. So what I have here is something I have dubbed, this is a her and his two soap cradle, and I've printed this on a 3D printer. I think I did a pretty good job. Printing videos are on the way. 3D printing videos and how to do are on the way. So a couple of things I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to use the white silicone, 100% silicone, and I'm going to thin it with naphtha. There are other thinning options, the mineral spirits, and something that I've run across, I've not seen anybody use, but silicone oil as well works. This is silicone, or they call this acrylic pour oil, but it's silicone oil. It's expensive, so use this sparingly if you're going to thin your silicone. I'm going to try to color it, and I am going to add some wood to my cradle just to give it some interest. So I'm going to soup up my silicone soap cradle a bit, and we're going to have some fun doing that. So, well, let's get to it and see how all this gets done. All right. All right, let's glue up the laminate now. And as you can see, I'm only wearing one glove to do this. The point of that is to see how much glue I can get on my uncovered hand versus how much glue I can keep off of the glove. All right, so now that they've dried, we're going to trim them back. And what I have here is we have 10-7, and we have 13-2, and that's from one edge to the inside edge. And I'll show you why I'm going to do that. It's because I'm going to stagger them and lap them around the corner. So. A lot of options for mold release agents, but my tried and true is Dawn dish soap. It'll work on porous and non-porous surfaces, even on cardboard, and it's ideal for this situation here because I'm using a solvent to thin the silicone. So I don't want anything solvent-based like a wax or an oil to be my release agent. I want a dissimilar substance, so Dawn, and it works just great. It takes a little time. It's a very satisfying operation to just pour some out, brush it on, and you brush until the foam goes away. And what it leaves, even in micro pores, is a soapy film that will protect the delicate item that you're trying to use and to protect, and the silicone won't get on it. So let's go now. And I do enjoy this part a lot. So first thing I'm going to do, of course, is mix the components together. First comes the silicone. I'm going to use most of this tube, I think. And to that, I'm going to add the naphtha. Poke the foil seal inside. Let's mount it on a caulk gun. And yep, I'm the Ziploc bag guy. I don't like making a mess. So what I've come up with is this little trick here, and folks seem to like it, and I show it every chance I get. Everything goes into a Ziploc bag, and the zipper across the top keeps all the liquid in. And then I basically end up making a supersized mess. I think I mixed up enough caulk, but I didn't want to run short, so there we have it. Everything's on the table, so we'll be all right. All right, it's next day, and it turned out very nice, very nice. My dimples are nice and squishy, and the detail on the side turned out just fabulous. And most surprising to me was the marbling texture on the back, and this emerald marbling. If it were found in nature, this is how it looked. This turned out great. So I'm very pleased with that. And great for holding the best soap ever invented, ivory soap. But let's move on. We're going to work this just a little bit differently now. Had I And this is how I started out. Then I changed to the squishy little pegs here. But had I gone with the flat top, I would have had to work my silicone differently. I would have needed to add a curing agent, such as what I always go to is cornstarch. I don't use others unless the situation would call for it. For instance, curing inside water for tubing would be another application, and you can refer to that video. But what I'm going to do now is explain why I would have had to make that adjustment to the silicone to modify the cure time. Silicone needs moisture to cure. It doesn't need air. Now there's moisture in air, and that's what helps the silicone cure. So now cornstarch it's a desiccant, but it likes water. Therefore, it always has water in it. So when you add the cornstarch to it, it's donating its water to the silicone, and it cures very rapidly like that in a non-air environment. You can cure silicone in a vacuum using the cornstarch. So, okay. So, and I'm going to demonstrate that. Just a couple little plugs. I'm going to put some plain silicone in here, and I'm going to add the cornstarch and put that in this one. And we're going to give it a little bit of a time, and you're going to see. Okay. So, again, the reason that I didn't need to add it here is because I had plenty of holes for air to get to the silicone. So that's why that worked, and I didn't need to add it. Okay. So let's get to that project. Oh, before I run off, let's talk about the star of the show, really, and that is the Dawn or the soap as a mold release agent. So as you can see, I got all my little diddy dots, so the soap worked great for these holes here. And you folks saw me destroy my brush, potentially, with the acrylic paint and then into the silicone. Well, here he is right here. And this is because this is the brush that I used. And the bristles were still coated in the Dawn. So it even protected the bristles from the silicone and the everything, the paint, everything. So the star of the show, definitely the Dawn. Now, a quick tip, and that is if you're like me and you're always running out of gloves and you need to work with some silicone, guess what you can do? Yep. Soap up your hands real good before you start, 2 or 3 dips with the soap. Rub it on dry and get a good coating on your hands before you begin working. And when it comes time to clean up, guess what? Yep, it all washes away. All right, so now let's move on to adjusting cure times. Okay. Well, it looks like I found my other glove, so just in time. So I'm going to soap these up. Okay, we're going to let those cook. In the meantime, we're going to mix up our silicone and naphtha, and we're going to add a pinch of cornstarch. And yep, I'm going to put everything in a bag. This is going to be important in a minute, because what I'm going to do is I have 2 mixes inside this one bag. So what I'm going to do is clip this, and I'm going to pour it out without the cornstarch first in one. And then I'm going to seal it all, add the cornstarch, mix that in, and then pour it into the next one. Okay, why cornstarch? Well, it works, and it's cheap, and there are other options, but cornstarch works, and it works when you thin it, so the cornstarch is unaffected by many other things that you'll do to your silicone. So cornstarch, and it doesn't take a lot, and I'm eyeballing this, so wish me luck. Now the only caveat is if we didn't add enough for the quantity, and the cure time would be slowed down, but it will cure faster than this, even with just that little bit. Let's do our trusty little iPhone, one of the older ones, best one ever made, because it actually fit in your pocket. All right, so it's been about an hour, a little more, about an hour, 5 minutes or so, and let's take a look at where we're at here. Where I added the cornstarch, it is nearly set. It's still soft right here, so it's moving over, but here it is just completely set. Okay, this is with the cornstarch, and it is getting inside here pretty well too. Okay, so it'll get down deep, where versus over here it's still, it has a skin, but it is still very wet. So you can see it, it's just, you can, still wet inside. And the same with this right here. It has a skin, but it is nowhere near dry. So it'll just ooze right out. So we'll give this overnight. But this is pretty much done, and it's soft right here. We're going to give this a little bit more time here. Like I said, the cornstarch, it's about how much you add is your set time, and I always go for about an hour. So, but it looks to me like I didn't get any cornstarch in this area right here. But we'll see if it continues to set. We'll give it another hour, and I'll let you know. All right, so it's been about an hour and a half, a little longer, and I'm not particularly satisfied with the results on what I was trying to show you here, because it hasn't cured evenly. It's set here on this side, it's ready to come out of the mold, but over here it still seems a bit soft. Yeah, there we are. So it's still soft in places, and that's because it didn't mix well enough. So here we are. We're going to do it again. I'm going to show you how it is supposed to be, but instead of a cure time of, I was aiming for roughly 1 hour, I'm going to load it up, and we'll have a cure time of about 10 or 15 minutes with the amount that I'm going to put in. Now the ratios that I have taken the time to put together from before is 10 grams of cornstarch for every 100 grams of silicone will give you a cure time of about 1 hour, and 20 grams of cornstarch to 100 grams of silicone will give you a cure time of about 15 minutes. and from there you're pretty much on your own. You can take it from there, I'm pretty sure. So what I'm going to do is make another batch real quick. Now you can clearly see that the method of eyeballing it is often not the most efficient method. So well, I said it was going to go fast, and it is. It's going so fast it's setting in the bag. All right, I think it's been about 30 minutes actually. Time run up on me, but as you can see, it is fully cured, ready to pop out of the mold. Okay. And this one is a few hours old. It's about 2.5 hours, and it's still just gushy. And this one will probably take all night. But this one will probably never fully. It'll take a long time for this one, days, weeks. But there we have it. That's how to modify your silicone so that you can pretty much go for any thickness that you want with the addition of the cornstarch. All right, there we have that. Well, I sort of think we're coming up on a wrap for this video. So here we have this. I actually made something with silicone in this video, and we demonstrated how to speed cure stuff, how to add color and interest, and mode release options, and I think we pretty much covered that. And if you're interested, well, of course I'll include the plans for this to be printed on a 3D printer if you like. But I still have a tube of silicone left, so if you guys have any ideas, well, shoot them down into the comments, and if you like, great. And if you care to, go to my Patreon to support the channel, and for this and other valuable content that you may like. Comments, suggestions are always appreciated. And well, bye-bye now.